Okay, I think we should start now, Dr. Salmi. All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, all
Salam.
lecturers and students from Green Technology course. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Aisha, and I'm lecturer from Industrial Engineering Department, Faculty of Advanced Technology and Multidiscipline. Well, today's Green Technology class is very special because we have Dekota or video conferencing with Universitas Airlangga, starring Dr. Salmia from Malaysia. Hello, Dr. Salmia. We're excited to have you here. How are you today?
Alhamdulillah. Hi. Assalamualaikum everyone.
Is it your first time coming to our university, right?
Yes, definitely. This is the first time. So I can see you have so many students. Alhamdulillah. So I am really excited to share my experience with them as well.
Well, we hope you will have a good time, even though this is only, like virtual classes.
Yeah,
All right.
it's okay.
Before we start the class, I would like to introduce a brief of your profile. Because, in Indonesia, we have proverb, tak kenal maka tak sayang.
Yeah.
Dr. Salmia full name is Dr. Salmia binti Bedut. Am I pronouncing your name right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So she completed her bachelor's degree in civil engineering from University Science Malaysia and her master degree in structural engineering from the same university. As for her PhD program, she was graduated from University Technology Petronas Malaysia. Dr. Samia is an expert in the field of sustainable construction materials, concrete technology, advanced materials, and structural engineering. And currently, she works as senior lecturer at University Teknologi Nasional Malaysia. And I think that's a brief profile of her. So for all the participants, before we start, if you want to ask question, please use the Q&A button on your screen. And now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to Dr. Salmia. Dr. Salmia, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Aisha. Assalamualaikum and very good morning. So now I share my screen, okay? Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes, we can see your slide clearly.
Okay, all right. So thank you so much for the invitation for this program. This is the Dakota program, right? So I am here as a speaker to share some experience related to the research and as well as related to the student subject as well. Okay, as mentioned by the staff or the lecturer from your university. So this is part of the subject. So the subject is, okay, part of the subject of technology hijau, right? So the code of the subject is TNM 102, am I right? Okay, so the title of the lecture, it is, I can say this is, okay, so this is basically the sharing session, sharing experience, okay, from me related to the role of ISO 14,000, okay, in reducing environmental impact, okay. So my name is Salmia. I am from University Tenaga Nasional Malaysia. Okay, students, I will also share these slides for you to refer if you need to refer to maybe some info related to ISO 14,000 as well. So if you have any question after the lecture, we still can contact. So you may contact me from this email, salmia@uniten.edu.my. Okay, so I am happy to discuss or to help in any related information. Okay. Okay, so before we start with maybe too many info, okay, so I would like to drive your attention a bit, okay, on the ideas of these three things. Okay, so I'm sure because as mentioned by your lecturer, this is your week 10, right? So before week 10, you already have your lecture related to the sustainability and as well as related to the green technology. Um, I'm I hope you have some ideas on that, so that after this, during our discussion, we will go through this information in detail. Okay, so for your syllabus this week, I also has been informed that this week you're supposed to cover on the ISO 14,000. Okay, so what is ISO 14,000 is all about? Then after this, we will go through also in detail. All right. Okay. So ISO. So ISO is the international standard of for organization. Okay. So ISO is the organization that is has managed, okay, so many audit activities, okay, in order for the participant or company to be involved um, to manage something related maybe to the quality as well as the environment. Okay, so particularly for the ISO 14,000, okay, it is the series of the international standard, okay, that has been developed, yeah, to incorporate particularly in the environmental aspects. Okay, so environmental aspect, and also it need to be incorporated in the business operation and product standard. Okay, so okay, so it contains actually a set of rules and standards, okay, that has been created to help companies to address their environmental impact. So ISO 14,000 is only for the environmental impact audit. Okay, so if you're being certified by ISO 14,000, so that means your company has maybe we can say you can have your license or points, okay, in order for you to apply for any business or job related to the environment. Okay, so that is the importance of the ISO 14,000 certification. Okay, for example, if you are the material suppliers, okay, that has certified by ISO 14,000, so that means you can sell your products that related to the friendly or environmental friendly materials, okay, then you can sell it because you already have a license that has been certified into ISO 14,000. Okay. And if you're also being certified by ISO 14,000, okay, so everyone will understand that your company or your institution is actually certified, okay, under environmental friendly business goals, okay, and also you are certified under mandatory environmental regulation, okay. So that is the purpose of ISO 14,000. Okay, so how actually this ISO 14,000 will looks like? Okay, so I can show some examples of documents. Okay, so okay, these are all the documents actually. Okay, there are so many documents. So actually to be certified with ISO 14000 is not that easy, because it is part of, it is actually the audit, and then inside the audit you have to fulfill so many documents from ISO 14000. So under ISO 14000, so there are a few more ISO. For example, okay, so this is ISO 14001, okay, 14001. So it is related to the environmental management system. So we will discuss further on this as well. Okay, so I just want to show you, these are the list of documents that need if you are applying for ISO 14000. Okay, so scope of EMS, so all the clauses here mentioned. So this clauses is based on ISO 14000. Okay. If students or lecturers who attend, you may interrupt if you have any question along the way I'm explaining. Okay. Okay, so as I mentioned to you about the benefits just now, okay. Um, so you can see benefit number 2. So I mentioned this, okay. As the certified suppliers, then you can sell your products and you can declare it is environmental friendly, or you can maybe dealing with the cost as well, okay. So because you are selling environmental friendly materials, so maybe um, you can sell this product as well, okay. So the first one, so if you are certified by ISO 14000, okay, so the auditor, okay, so ISO is need auditor, yeah, to be to check all your documents, okay, and then this auditor will give you the license of the accreditation. They are the one who will audit every single documents, okay. So if you are certified by ISO 14000, so that means you are considered, okay, having commitment to the environment, okay, as well as you can use it as the marketing tools for your company or institution, okay. So for your information, not only companies, industry, okay, universities, some universities also certified by ISO, but not only ISO 14000. So this is for environment. So some ISO also related to the quality management system, okay. All right. So for ISO 14000, there are 6 basic areas to be to consider. Okay. Number 1, you can see the local, environmental, and community issue. Okay, this need to be considered. Okay. Number 2, the use of basic materials and natural resources. Okay. So because we are really in this ISO, okay, so we are really concerned about the environmental. So whatever related to environmental, so we need to consider. So there are 6 here. Okay. Local, environmental, and community issue means, okay, so if you have, for example, the development in one area, like in your kampung, okay, so we need to consider, okay, is there any community issues if you develop like, okay, in your kampung, for example, all the rumah will be the rumah kampung, right? So, but suddenly um, there are some developers, okay, who apply to build a high-rise building just near your just inside your kampung. So as per ISO 14000, okay, we need to consider this as well. Okay, either there is the local and environmental local environmental and community issues will be considered. Okay, so number 2, okay, use the basic material and natural resources. Okay, so as we are concerning about the environment, okay, so we need to put in mind that whatever material that we use, okay, in the industrial application or in any application, okay, so we need to bear in mind that we need to optimize the material without depleting the earth, okay, as well as reducing the waste. Okay, so for example, nowadays you are using a baby diapers, so everywhere is using baby diapers, right? So what you can do with the used baby diapers, for example, okay, other than just dumping into the landfill. Okay, so there are something to be need to think about. Okay, this is just for example. Okay, and contamination or degrading of the land. Okay, so for example, if you want to uh, develop one land, okay, construct a building, everything, so we also need to um, think about the contamination. Okay, is there any contamination um, from the development in one area, or maybe degrading of the land? Okay, so it also will cause the environmental effect. Okay, right. So waste management. So waste, okay, it need to be managed. Okay, example, treatment of the waste. Okay, before you use it as recycled materials. Okay, so releases to water. Okay, whatever you use to produce any products, maybe, so also need to consider, okay, the waste, okay, that release into the water. So is it harmful or not? Okay, if the water is being released to the river. Okay, okay, so emission to the air. Okay, emission to the air. So if you are doing like burning activities, whatever, this is just for example. Okay, um, so is there any pollution? Okay, okay, so these 6 basic areas, okay, we also need to commit, yeah, for the continuous improvement in ISO 14,000 audit. Okay, so this is just for the history of the ISO 14,000. So I go briefly about this history. I think maybe you also can read about this. Okay, so ISO 14,000. So it is actually started in 1992. Okay, so everyone belum lahir lagi kan? 1992. Okay, so it was started during that time, and then also during that time there are some standards, okay, national and regional standards, okay, like British standard as well as the Canadian standard. Okay, so in 1996, okay, so this SEGI, Strategic Advisory Group on the Environment, they proposed to have the international standard on the environmental management system. So it need to be, the standard need to be combined all. Okay, there is no British standard, Canadian standard. Okay, so it need to put in one group, and then internationally can be used. Okay, so that is how actually ISO 14,000 published in 1996. Doesn't mean that Canadian standard and British standard cannot use. It still can be used. Okay, but this is also part of the improvement of the international standard. Okay. All right. And then there are a few revise of this ISO 14,000. Okay. So like in 2004, they have published ISO 14,001. Okay. And ISO 14,004. Okay. So this is published for the environmental to take care of the environment. Okay. So okay, so EMS, Environmental Management System. So this is part of ISO 14,000. Okay, so it is actually contained in ISO 14,001. Okay, so EMS. So EMS is the policies. So one set of the policies and procedures that has been designed to help the organization, okay, number one, to reduce the negative environmental effect. Okay, so taking care of the environment as well. Okay, and to improve efficiency and the operational effectiveness. Okay, and if you have heard about the QMS, Quality Management System. Okay, so ISO also taking care of this. Okay, so other ISO, other numbers of ISO. So we have so many series of ISO actually. Okay, so EMS is also the set of guidelines for the continuous improvement. Okay, so QMS is taking care of the quality while EMS is taking care of the environmental. Okay, but at the end of the day, it is basically the set of policies for the different areas. Okay, so I can say ISO is part of the license. Okay, to show that this organization is taking care of the quality of environment. Okay. Okay, what is the benefits of ISO 14,000? Okay, so from the ethical part, okay, it's our duty actually to look after the world and hand it down in a good shape of the future generation. Okay, so we are hoping that our kids, maybe in 20 years, 20 years, okay, another 20 years, they still can see all the trees, okay, all the grasses, everything. Okay, so that they also know, okay, so the world is yet to be depleted. Okay, so if we want our kids to see what we actually see nowadays, okay, so it's our duty, okay, to take care of our environment. Okay, and from the economic, okay, so we also need to take care of the conserving resources, okay, and not generating waste products or waste energy. Okay, so we need to minimize the waste, okay, and also optimize it for the recycle activities, for example. Okay, number 3, okay, from the legal benefits, okay, so we need to prevent prosecutions, okay, fines and tarnishing company's image. Okay, if you are being, for example, if your company is being fined, so it's not good for the image of the company, of course. Okay, okay, in the commercial point of view, okay, so if you're being certified with ISO, okay, so you are more environmental conscious customers and traders, okay, people will know you. Okay, so of course EMS will you need to invest for the EMS. Okay, so investment is coming from the staff time. Okay, preparing the documents is not that easy. Okay, so your staff need to spend time in preparing all the things. Okay, and also you need to have potential consulting assistants. Okay, and as well as personnel training. Okay, so before preparing, we also need to have a knowledge. Okay, how to gain the knowledge? We need to go for training. Okay, so another 6 core elements for EMS. Okay, so this is according to ISO 14001 standard. So we have 6, yeah. So environmental policy. Okay, we need to know, we need to establish environmental policy. Okay, and then second stage will be planning. Okay, after we plan, then we need to have implementation. Okay, number 4, study and correct, management review, and finally continuous improvement. So environmental policy. Okay, so we need to clearly outline the environmental policy. Okay, so these are all the information here. Later you can read. Okay, so in the planning part, okay, we need to make the complete planning through the implementation of EMS. Okay, so planning is very critical in this stage. Okay, because if you fail to plan, okay, so it will affect all the stages until stage number 6. Okay, planning is very important. Right, then after you okay, after the planning, okay, so implementation is coming. Okay, so this step will involve the execution for the plan. Okay, in point number 2. Right. Okay, after implementing, okay, the most basic EMS, okay, observe how it function and make correction or optimization as needed. Okay, then after that, management review process. Okay, and finally, continuous improvement. Okay, so what need to be improved? Okay, along the 5 process. Okay, so in the continuous improvement, okay, based on ISO 14,000, okay, the method we'll use is the plan, do, study, and act. Okay, PDSA we call it. Okay, so this is under continuous improvement. Okay, so some figures here. So this is how actually this process will be done. Okay, so plan, do. Oh, so this is PDCA. Okay, I will show you after this. Okay, so this is the principle of environmental management. So I can conclude that the environmental management is actually to taking care of the environment. Okay, so how we can taking care of the environment? So we need to be certified. Okay, what else? We need to also be familiar with the environmental management system. Okay, right. So this is the one, PDSA. Okay, plan, do, study, and act. Okay, so it is also showing the difference between PDSA and PDCA. So in EMS, we will use PDSA. So the first step is, what do we want to achieve? Okay, so this also this we need to identify. Then after we identify the first step, and then we will go to how do we know if the change is an improvement? Okay, and then going to the next step, what change will result in the improvement? And then after that, we will begin with the cycle. Okay, so the PDCA is different. So find the process to improve. First step, understand the cause of the process variation. Okay, and identify how to reduce the variation. Then finally, we'll begin the cycle. Right? So we will use PDSA in EMS. Okay, so this is the one that I mentioned to you. Okay, so you can have environmental policy. Okay, do I have Q&A here?
Yeah, I think you have one Q&A and there are several messages coming to me. So
Okay.
maybe we can answer that later or...
Oh, okay. So I finish first, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So this is the map, okay? That simplified actually, the one I have mentioned before, okay? So environmental policy, we start first and then go with planning, okay? So planning, this is the plan just now. So PDSA, yeah, PDCA, sorry, PDCA. Okay, so implementation and operation is do, okay? Checking and corrective action, check, and improvement is act. Okay, so these are all the information. Okay, so I think this one student can read. Okay, so all these stages incorporate into the wider philosophy of continuous improvement. Okay, right. So this is the continuous improvement. Okay, so what are the targets? Okay, so first, scope and expansion. Okay, so expanding the scope of EMS to include more of the organization. Ultimately, all the departments of the organization are incorporated. Okay, and then process and function also. Okay, so this is the aspect of the organization such as process, services, products, and resources are all managed by EMS. Okay, and then EMS organization. So this refer to the structure and organization of EMS itself, as well as all knowledge about the plan for dealing with business environmental issue. Okay, so so this is just the figure how actually PDSA is functioning. Okay, so what is actually the current scenario that we can um, incorporate, okay, with the ISO 14000. Okay, so first is the awareness in the industry to produce greener products. Okay, and then consumers demand for the greener products. Okay, because not only ISO 14000, so in my area, like I am a civil engineering lecturer, so we have um, uh, one like a standard, we call it as green building index. Okay, so we also taking care of these greener products under this standard. Okay, so under this standard, we also concerned about the green products for the construction. So later I will share with you some experience, okay, related to my area, okay, and also related to the green products, because student today is green technology, right? This is the green technology subject. So maybe I can share quite new information to them, but I hope they can enjoy some new knowledge from this talk. Okay, and then the awareness of the sustainable development. Okay, environmental sorry, legislation alone not sufficient. Okay, so some of it is not really sufficient. Okay, self-regulation by industries, global competition on the products, and then trade barrier, and as well as there may be no standard indicator for industries that give environmental commitments. Okay, so it also requires standard to take care of above demands in the form of management tools. Okay, so EMS is part of the overall management system that include organization structures, planning activities, responsibilities, practices, procedures, process, and resources for developing, implementing, achieving, review, and maintaining the environmental policies. Okay, so this is the EMS is all about. So in conclusion, EMS is one of the management tools. Okay, so common question in EMS. Okay, with the product related, okay, is the product can reduce raw material input? Okay, so this is a common question lah. Okay, less impact of the material use, improve efficiency and lifespan. Okay, is it improve recyclable? Okay, and also on the packaging alternative as well. Okay, related to process. So is it related to the cleaner technology? Okay, is it can be recoverables, reusable, recyclable, energy saving, or material saving? Okay, so the use of the natural resources, okay, is it renewable energy? Is it less fuel? Is it maintain conservation? Or is it less polluted? Okay, some legislation. So I think I highlighted here, this is the Environmental Quality Act in Malaysia, just the example, yeah. Okay, so in Malaysia, so it is established by Department of Environment, DOE, we call it as DOE, in 1976. Okay, so we need to formalize this environmental management. Okay, so what we have, like if there will be a fine and penalties under restriction on the pollution. Okay, maximum 500,000 ringgit Malaysia or to 5 years jail or both. Okay, so compounding offense, okay, maximum fine and also been increased up to 2,000 ringgit Malaysia. Okay, so what else? 3 strategies in the act to regulate pollution. Okay, the other 2 are prevent and abate any form of pollution. Okay, so we are in Malaysia also is very concerned about the environment. Yeah. So this is the pollution prevention hierarchy. Okay, so we will start with the big the first one. Okay, big area, source reduction. Okay, and then go down will be reclaim and reuse or recycle. Okay, and then treatment, and as well as after that finally disposal. All right. Okay, I have also include here some case studies related to the implementation of ISO. Okay, in the industry. Okay, so okay, so this is the case study in the luggage manufacturing industry. Okay, so they did this EMS in their canteen. Hold on, can you see my slide? Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, I just want to show, okay, number 10. Sorry. Okay. So this is the implementation of ISO 14000 in the luggage manufacturing industry. Okay. So they have consider all the factors related to ISO 14000. Okay. So I think, okay, this table, okay, representing the criteria, okay, of the documentation. Okay, for example, so continuous, so this is operation. So if continuous 8 hours and above per day, so they are the points that will be given. Okay, so like occurrence, okay, so they have audited all these factors, okay, and with the points, they will put the points. So this is how ISO is being audited lah. Okay, significance of impact, the controls, okay, frequency of the detection, everything. So all these factors is related to the environment lah. Okay, and then later, finally, so we will get this factor rating everything. So is it significant or no, not significant? Okay, so students, maybe you can go through after this. I will give you these slides, and then maybe you can go through all these things. Okay, so this is how they documented ISO 14000. Okay. Okay, and also for your information, Ford Motor Company also has accredited with ISO 14000. Okay, so some research, this is a case study as well. Okay, so implementation of the environmental management system among the construction companies as well. So we did have all the studies, not only Malaysia, also Indonesia and around the world also has studied about this. Okay. Okay, so I would like to share some information. So this is my actually my area of research. Okay, so since I am in civil engineering, so I am I have more knowledge on the construction industries, construction materials. Okay, so part of it, I show you the 6 elements of ISO just now. Okay, so one of the 6 element is the recycle activities, right? Material recycle activities. So this is the part of the example of the 6 categories just now. All right. So okay, so in the construction industries, we also concerned about sustainability. Okay, so sustainable materials, what is it? Okay, so sustainable materials, okay, mainly in the construction industries can be generally categorized into 4, which is 3, sorry, environmental benefits, economic benefits, and social benefits. Okay, so under sustainable materials, all these factors is fulfilled or not? Okay, and the purpose behind of the concept sustainability in construction is to preserve our environment, okay, and avoid the depletion of the Earth's natural resources. Okay, because mainly in the construction material, we are using the natural resources coming from Earth, right? So in construction, we use a lot of cements. Okay, so cement from where? So cement is produced from natural resources as well. Okay, the aggregate, the stones, okay, the sand, we use all those things Okay, we mix up with the proper ratio, and then finally we come out with a very hard materials to construct a building, right? Okay, sustainable material improve the economic aspect by creating less waste disposal. Okay, hence it has lowered the need for the new waste disposal facilities. Okay, right. Okay, by adopting the sustainable materials, this is the example. Okay, so the environment workplace can be better indoor air quality. Okay, because we have less waste. Okay, and it will be indirectly create more employment opportunities. Okay, because we are recycling, so maybe there will be a factory of recycling everything. Okay, we are create more employment opportunities as well. Okay, and also with the better air quality help to improve the occupants' comfort and health. Okay, so this is the one I mentioned to you before. Okay, and then the green materials. Okay, so green material is one that simultaneously does the most with the least, fits most harmoniously within ecosystem process. Okay, it helps eliminate the use of other material and energy, as well as contribute to the attainment of the service-based economy. Okay, so it is actually based on the environmental concern. Okay. Okay, what is the environmental concern through the regulation? Okay, first is water. Okay, so as you know that we will get the water from the river, okay, water bodies and seas. Okay, so is our water clean? Is our water polluted? Okay, that one we need to put into concern. So ground surface, okay, is our ground polluted or not? Okay, as well as air, okay. So the one that we breathe now, is it polluted or not? Okay, so interrelation as well as ecosystem. Okay, so is still there any bird singing around us? Is there any butterflies flying around us? So that is part of the ecosystem. Okay, so environmental concern in construction. Okay, so you know what is construction, right, students? Are you okay if I share this? Okay, construction. So
Yes, okay.
construction, um, okay, every day we can see construction. Okay, construction is we have construct a house, maybe we construct a very a high-rise building. Okay, so we construct the places, okay, to make it more like we have everything there, right? So that is construction. Okay, so civil construction activities like buildings and other engineering structures like bridges. What else other than building? We have bridges, we have flyovers, we have what else? We also need to treat the the ground, right? So all this is civil construction activities. Yeah, and we also concerned about the natural resources and the materials. Okay, so by the time if we are producing so many cements every day without concerning about the alternative materials, okay, so the resources will be depleting one day, right? And the water, okay, the pollution of the water, okay, the air, okay, is there any dust? Polluted air normally has dust. Okay, the noise pollution also we need to concern, as well as construction activities that can affect the ecosystem. Okay, how to make balance between development and ecosystem? Okay, So better we learn earlier, as not only public but courts or tribunals are going to ask us with these vital questions. Okay, and even you can see, okay, you can see this girl, okay, she need a cleaner water, but you can see everywhere is being polluted, okay, due to the construction activities. Okay, so this is really very sad, right? So consuming the polluted water also will affect our health, right? So we don't want all these things happen around us, right? This is the air pollution, okay? So please remember, okay, all these activities are going to affect the construction activities due to the environmental concern, okay? So what we need to do, sustainable development is the only answer, okay? Which is to be properly defined before the courts considering engineering concern, okay? So sustainable building or construction material are part of the sustainable development, okay? Right, so I mentioned to you about the sand, okay? So sand is part of the construction material. We use it in making a concrete, okay? So this photo is showing the activities, yeah, of the sand mining. So we will take this sand and then we mix with cement and also the stone, okay, with the proper ratio, everything, and then we will use it for the to construct a building, right? So if you see, okay, the actual uh, uh, projected material use, you can see here, okay, sand, gravel, and crushed rock. You can see it is in 2017. So you can see it is nearly 30 billion tons, okay, of the usage, okay. And projected in 2060, so it is nearly 60 billion tons, okay, will be used, okay. So and all the things here lah, okay. So the clays, limestone, coal, metal ores, everything. Okay. So it is a very big quantity actually. Okay. And we also need to consider our environment. What happens if the sand is finished? So if we still want to use the natural sand, so what happens if one day the natural sand will be depleted? Are we going to have another construction activities? Are we going to have to construct our house, our very beautiful house? Okay, so uh, this is the impact of the sand mining. Okay, so what we can do? Okay, we can think of having the alternative natural sand, which is manufactured sand. Okay. Right. So it can be recycled. Okay. Okay. Manufactured sand is not the natural sand. Okay. It can be a recycled sand, or it can be the waste from others industries. Okay. So environmental concern on the stone quarrying and aggregate. Okay, so you can see there is many dust, everything, as well as we are using the natural resources as well. Okay, so this is the production of uh, uh, construction material as well. So we use limestone. We burn limestone to produce cement. Okay, and also the gypsum. So this is the natural resources of cement production. You can see limestone and gypsum. Okay, and also if we use it continuously, then all these resources are going to be depleted. Okay, so um, as the industrial player or technologies or academician or engineers, we need to think about this. Okay, so what else we can do? Okay, rather than taking all the natural resources that, of course, one day it's going to be depleted if we don't stop or reduce the usage. Okay, so environmental concern for the air pollution. So this is based on the aggregate production as well as cement production. Okay, we can have the recycle aggregate. Okay, for example, where we can get this recycle aggregate, we can get it from the waste from the industry, like a slag. So slag is actually the waste from the metal production. Okay, and also, hold on. Okay, it also can come from the plastics. Okay, right. And also it can come from the building demolish activities. So like if you have building like it's already 50 years and it is not function, and at the same time you are going to construct a new building, so the existing building, you need to demolish. Okay, so it's actually the building material still can be used. Okay, still can be recycled. Okay, then we can use it as the recycle aggregate. Okay, all right. This is the fly ash. Okay, so fly ash is also a waste from the power plant. Okay, um, we have now, okay, you have aircon with you in your house. Okay, and then you have the lights with you. Okay, and you have what else? You have your fan and you are staying very comfortable in your house now, right? So it is actually because of you have enough energy in your house. Energy to switch on all the fans, to switch on all the air conditioning, to switch on all the lights in your house. So it is actually coming from the energy. So energy generated from where? So energy generated from power plant, right? So from the power plant, the energy will be bring to your house. Okay, so what power plant do? So power plant is burning a coal. Okay, you know arang batu? Okay, so it is burning a coal to generate the energy. Okay, so after burning the coal, it will actually leave the waste. Okay, like if you're burning a timber, bakar kayu kan, so if you're burning a timber, then you will have abu, the ash, right? So the same thing goes to the arang batu. Okay, so the waste from the arang batu in power plant is actually a fly ash, this one. Okay, so this fly ash can be used in construction material to make a brick, to replace some cement usage, okay, as well as you can use it as cement usage, and then also in other materials, okay, not only for the construction materials. Okay, the red mud also can be used to make a brick, and the slag also can be used to make a brick. So this slag is coming from the waste from the alloy industry or the steel industries. Okay, so the burning activities also can produce the waste such as a slag. Okay, so this is the sustainable materials examples. Okay, so there is a brick and then you lay a brick, then finally you can actually build a house or building. Just the example. Okay. Okay. From the plastic, waste plastic, okay, so it is also possible, okay, to turn this waste into a very valuable materials. You can see in the photo here, okay. Okay, so these are all made by plastic. All right, so waste-based brick produced by the start of the, we call it as stone cycling. Okay, this is another example. Okay, so create the bricks by mixing waste from nearby glass, ceramic, and insulation factories, and sometimes rejected clay from the traditional brick factories. Okay, then they mix up together, and then you can see it is possible to build a house or building using the recycled materials. Okay, all right. The waste glass also. Okay, so you can see it is also possible to have these beautiful surfaces, right? It is made from the waste glass. Okay, so for the aggregate, why do we need sustainable aggregates? Okay, so because we want to reduce the usage of natural resources. Okay, so this is part of the example. Okay, so recycle concrete materials. So the concrete, okay, you can hack and make it into smaller sizes as the natural aggregate, natural stone, and then you can make, you can use it as part of the construction materials, other than using the natural aggregate. Okay, aggregate, recycle demolition waste aggregate also can be used, and the slags. So this is the slag I mentioned to you just now. Okay, so have some manufactured sand for concrete. Okay, recycle glass aggregate. Okay, the slag, this is the final one. Okay, and the fly ash. Okay, but of course, there will be a challenges in using the recycled materials. Okay, it will not 100% similar to the natural material, of course. Okay, so for example, maybe the quality is not as good as natural material, of course. Okay, but of course, if you want to make it comparable with the natural materials, so we need to have the investment on the treatment. We need to treat that material before we use it. Okay, because there are some drawbacks or disadvantages of this recycled material, of course, if we use it as it is. Okay, so a lot of research has been done on this, and some of the findings here. So some of the findings mentioned that there will be some effects in terms of material quality. Okay, so in the construction material, so maybe we can say the terms of durability. Okay, it is less durable compared when we use the natural material, but it's okay. Okay, as engineer or as technologists, okay, or environmentalists, okay, we need to think something that we can do, okay, to improve these disadvantages. Okay, what we need to do, we have to think about it. Okay, and we need to bear in mind that the waste, okay, it is it is not really possible to use the waste as it is if we want to compare with the natural materials. Okay, so we need to put some investment, or we need to invest sometimes, okay, in thinking of something or doing something that can improve the quality of the waste material. Okay, for example, we can have a treatment. Okay, for example, if the material has a heavy metal inside, what we need to do? Okay, so we need to treat it first. Maybe we take out these heavy metals before we use it. Okay. Okay, oil palm shell. So what is oil palm shell? So this is palm shell. This is kelapa sawit. I think I'm sure in Indonesia we have a lot of oil palm shell. Okay. So oil palm shell. Okay. So if we want to have oil, okay. So minyak masak ya. Okay. So oil that you use, cooking oil. Cooking oil is coming from the process of oil palm shell. Okay, so actually you can see the green color here. Okay, it will be processed in the factory and it will produce the cooking oil. Kan? Okay, so of course it will leave the waste. So these are the waste we will be leave. Okay, okay, we call it as oil palm shell. So this shell is a very hard shell actually. Okay, so there is the potential of use it as aggregate replacement. You can use this shell, okay, to replace the aggregate. So you can see this is the concrete, yeah. This is the mixture of cement, aggregate, water, and oil palm shell. So it also possible to produce the concrete, the hard materials to be used as building materials. Okay, so what else? So other than aggregate, other than stone and the sand, so in engineering term we call it as aggregates. So it is actually sand or stone. Yeah. So other than sand or stone, we also can think about the cement. Okay, I show you just now. Okay, the where is it? Um, the limestone. Okay, this one, limestone and gypsum. So this is used for the cement production. Okay. So also we can think about the replacement of the cement. Okay. Sorry, yeah. This is oil palm shell. Okay, cement replacement. Okay, so we need to think on the replacement of the cement. Okay, so in order for us to reduce the cement consumption, or maybe to replace 100% of the cement usage in the construction materials. Okay, so if you can see here, this is the statistic of the cement production. Okay, you can see there is the Indonesia here. Okay, so Indonesia is listed here. Okay, major countries in worldwide cement production. Okay, so you can see the usage is high. So this is production in million per metric ton. Yeah, you can see. So it's a lot. Okay, the usage of cement, because according to the statistic, okay, the usage of concrete around the world is second next to the water. Okay, so we are using water every day, right? So the consumption, the highest consumption around the world is the water. Okay, The second highest consumption around the world is the concrete. Because why? The development is here and there around the world, right? So we are using um, a very high consumption of the construction materials. Okay, so cement, stone, as well as sand. Okay, we use in a very high consumption. Okay, this is the fly ash that I mentioned to you before. So it's coming from the burning of the coal in the power plant to generate the electricity, generate the energy. Okay, and surprisingly, the properties of this fly ash, okay, we can, there is the advantages in terms of the properties, the characteristic of this fly ash, and it is possible to reduce some amount of cement. At the same time, it can increase the properties of the concrete. Okay, so that means the quality of the concrete that you get if you use fly ash, maybe there are some replacement of cement. For example, you replace about 20% of the cement using fly ash, then you will get a better quality of the concrete. Okay, so this is proven. Okay, and maybe this is too technical. Okay, so I just put the information here. If you're interested, you can read. Okay, but this is too technical, I think, for the green technology student. But it's okay. If you're interested, then you can take a look. Okay, so this is granulated blast furnace slag. So it's like a fly ash, but this is the waste coming from the it is coming from the industries of steel production. Okay, so also has a very good characteristic, and it is possible also to use as the cement replacement materials, and it will give you better quality of concrete. Better quality of concrete means what? Your concrete will be stronger. Okay, and then silica fume, this is also the waste from the uh, um, production of steel. Okay, so silicon alloys. Okay, and then also has good characteristic, and also can be used in cement replacement. Okay, rice husk. Okay, you know about rice husk? Okay, rice husk is the okay, if you have a paddy tree kan, macam pokok padi, okay, to produce the rice, okay. So this is the one that covered the rice, okay, rice husk, yeah. So rice husk also, there is the potential to be used after you take out the rice, and then normally in the rice mill, okay, in the factory that produce the rice, so they will burn this rice husk, okay, the uh, to dry the rice, okay. So they will burn, and then with the high temperature, okay, they use it to uh, to dry the rice, okay, untuk keringkan beras, okay. So then after burning, of course, there will be the waste, okay. We call it as rice husk ash, okay. This is the waste, okay, and based on the characteristic studies, okay, there is the potential of use this as construction material. This is the example. It can be used to make a brick, okay, batu bata, okay, right. So this is the rice husk after burning, okay, and then we can uh, use it, okay. What else? Okay, so this is listed here, the one that I mentioned. Okay, so all here, yeah, paper, artificial stone, carbon fibers, everything. Okay, so another example of the waste paper, they use it, okay, in construction materials. Okay, artificial stones. Okay, so this made by combination of glass. You can see. So you can have a very beautiful surfaces as well using the artificial stone. Okay, rubber modified asphalt. So if you have rubber, okay, this is the waste, right? Okay, so you can recycle this, okay, into a small pieces and then mix with the asphalt. This is asphalt, the the black color is the asphalt. Then you can mix the rubber together, and then you can see, okay, it can produce a very nice surface of the road. Okay, it can be used. Right. What else? The plastic. Plastic also can be used, can be recycled, and we can use it also for the road construction. Okay. So this is the recycled road waste. So if you want to have a new road, okay, so the existing road here, you can also recycle and you can make it as a new road. Okay, just recycle it. Okay, so bagas, okay, so this is the sugar cane, okay, also can be processed and make it as the board like this, okay, and we can use it like we can apply into the cabinets, doors, right? Okay, manufactured wood board. So this is normal material we use for our cabinets. Okay, so recycled water also we can use. Okay, so this recycled water we can use to blend the concrete. Okay, recycled jeans, surprisingly. Okay, this is another example. Okay, we also can use. Okay. Okay, one of the chemical admixture. So this is one of the chemical used in concrete. Okay, so normally we will buy the chemical and mix together with the concrete, everything. Okay, and also we need to think what else we can use for the waste. So one of it is the used oil. Okay, the oil coming when you service your car and there is the black oil there. Okay, so there is also a potential to be used as chemical admixture. The admixture, the chemical to be used in improving the concrete concrete quality. Okay, so some information here. I don't want to go through because it's too technical. Okay, so just mention about this. So in the construction industries, okay, it is possible to use the waste as well, okay, not only to save the environment, and surprisingly, using the waste in construction industries also can improve the quality of the materials. Okay, so what are the challenges? Of course, there will be a challenges, okay, so this is the list. Okay, so first, affordability. Okay, of course we need to invest. Okay, for the waste we need to invest to have a good quality of the materials. Okay, so and then number two, the concept of the sustainable. Okay, some of the practitioner, they are not aware with the importance of the protecting the environment. Okay, but with the ISO 14,000, okay, I think if they are being certified, so of course they will be aware with this. Okay, And the code of regulation, so some public policies and some regulatory frameworks nowadays are not encouraged. Okay, some. Okay, so I think with ISO 14,000 again, okay, this also can be we also can put awareness on it. Okay, so limited availability of the sustainable materials. Okay, so for example, so waste. Okay, so maybe at one time we can use the waste, and if we need it for another time, maybe the waste that we have before is already being finished, dah habis. Okay, so there will be some challenges there. Okay, in terms of the continuity of using it. Okay, because in the construction we need a very huge amount of the materials, right? So that is part of the challenges as well. So lack of the readability, available, accessible information, okay, also is part of the challenge. All right.
All right.
So thank you so much. I think I am done with the slides. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe we can open the Q&A here.
Yep. Okay, we will go ahead and take some time for question now. I think we have already 5 question in the Q&A.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I
yeah.
can see here.
Yeah. Okay. Which one do you want to answer first?
Okay, I answer one by one, okay?
All right.
So why don't ISO be applied in all companies? Is there any political interest? Huh, political. That make it not possible to be mandatory. Okay. Actually ISO they don't put it as mandatory. Okay. They just put it as okay, it's up to you. You want to use it, then you your company will get a very good reputation. Because if we enforce it as the mandatory, okay, to be honest, not all the company can be uh, not all company will be doing it because for example the small company, if they want to be enforced under ISO 14,000, so maybe they have the lacking of the staff, the lacking of the budget, you know. So if we make it as mandatory, of course, indirectly we will kill this small company lah. For me, this is my opinion. Okay, so this is what government can do is to encourage the company to be certified under ISO 14,000. Okay.
Okay.
I hope I answer the question. Question number 2, is ISO beneficial for health too? Of course, because it is related to the environment. Okay. So if our environment is clean, okay, so directly it will be beneficial to the health. There will be less waste, right? So less, if we have more waste, and then is if our drainage is full of mosquitoes, nyamuk, everything, right? So of course it will be also affected our health, right? So with a very clean environment, with a very less waste, okay, of course it will contribute also to the health, better health. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Number 3, they are those requirement of the green tech natural material made construction material. Can we
Can match.
combine?
Oh.
Sorry, are those requirement for the green tech application can match with the model business? Okay,
I,
under ISO 14,000, one of it is the green technology. Okay, so we need to fulfill the sustainable part. Okay, So one of it is the green technology materials. Okay, so if you are implementing green tech in your company, okay, then it is possible to certified with ISO as well. Okay, so can we combine the waste material and natural material to make construction material? Yes, it is. This is the one that we practice nowadays. So we don't use 100% of the waste, okay, but we do replace with some percentage. So for example, for the usage of cement in construction material, so the normal practices is between 20% to 30% of the cement replacement. So the same thing goes to aggregate, to the stones. Okay, we normally will combine. We will not using 100% of the replacement. Okay, as I mentioned to you that the waste we cannot use it as it is because it will reduce the quality of the material. So we need some investment to treat the material, okay, and then we can use it after the treatment process. Okay, next, what do you think about 3D printed house? Is it bad or good for environment? 3D printed, okay. So 3D printing is the latest technology nowadays, okay. And even you can build one house within 2 days, 3 days, okay. But it is a good, but the investment, because to create the machine for the 3D printing everything, so it's not that cheap, okay. But if you have money, so it will be very beneficial, okay, because your construction will take less time, okay. And as far as the material concerned for the 3D printing, so we will use the similar materials. Okay, so as far as environment concerned for the 3D printing, so we will use the same materials, okay, and maybe we will have the different materials to improve the quality, because 3D printing you need flowable construction material and better quality of the construction materials. Of course, it will give you higher cost if you compare to the um, um, to other materials. Okay. Okay. Will we lose ISO certified? Sorry. Will we lose the ISO certified if we did something wrong? Yes, of course. So if you are being certified with ISO, okay, then you need to maintain. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, so the accreditation, the audit will come, I think, every 5 years. Okay. So if you want to be accredited with ISO, then you need to maintain lah. If you are doing something wrong, for example, what? So you are not fulfilling some documents, so they have a right to take out the accreditation. Okay. Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam. Good morning. Yes, good morning. I would like to ask a question about ISO. We've talked about is the ISO only can use in industry company or can be used in startup company also, like Grab, etc. Okay. So ISO, so not only simply applying for ISO, yeah. So you need to pay for this ISO. You need to pay certain amount to be accredited. Okay. So for me, this is my opinion. Okay, if you want to use it for the startup company, so make sure you have uh, you have a money to be invest in. Okay, and then you can apply for the ISO. Okay, as far as the Grab, for example, yeah. So you need to know, you need to understand also what is actually your target for the Grab. So you're concerning in what? Okay, so for example, if you want to invest in ISO, okay. So what is your target actually? What do you want? Okay. If you don't have budget for that, then I think for me um, it's not worth it for you to go for the ISO when you just start up your company. Of course, with the startup of your company, you need to see your account first, right? So if you only have like 10 ringgit in your account, so it is not worth it. Okay, because I think a quite huge amount to apply for the ISO as well. You need to pay some amount. Okay. Okay, next question. Does company that create products with ISO certified standard get tax tarif? Um, as far as I understand, so if you're being accredited, I think for the sustainable materials, there are some tax exemption for this. Okay, so in terms of import export, so I'm not sure about it, but as I have read through, okay, the tax exemption is there for the green materials. Okay, what else? Is the last question, eh? This is last question.
No, we have two more
Okay.
questions. Yeah.
Is there a special award for company that implement ISO? I'm not sure about the award, but the company will be listed as, for example, if you are applying for some projects, okay, so you will have a point there, points, okay, to be considered to be part of the um, um, candidate, okay, to apply for the for for the project. Okay, so okay, last question. There are still many industry or product do not care about the environment and ignore. One reason maybe they have to spend more money. Yes. So I think Malaysia and Indonesia also has facing this. Okay, because dealing with the uh, waste, dealing with the recycle things, so it's not that easy because we have to invest some amount of money as well. Okay, so I think we can go slowly. Okay, so we need to create the awareness first. Okay, so one of it is ISO 14,000. Also, if the industry aware about this, then maybe we can go slowly lah on this creating awareness. Okay, any more question?
Oh, I think we've covered all of our questions, Miss.
Maybe student can interact with me as well.
Oh,
I am happy to, to interact
okay.
with the student as well.
But
So anyone?
unfortunately, they will have another class after this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So we have finished the
I'm really
class.
sorry. Yeah, we have to
Okay,
finish the
okay,
class.
okay.
we are really sorry, but
Okay.
I think it's really great, our material today. Thank you, Dr. Salmia, and also thank you for the
Thank you
attendance,
so much. Thank you.
Dr. Sabaria. I don't know who you are, but it looks like your colleague, right?
Yeah. It's my colleague, Dr.
Okay,
Sabaria. Dr.
okay.
Sabaria is the environmentalist.
Oh, all right. It's
She
great to have
came
you
to
both.
support me as well.
Ah, it's great to have you both here, and also all of you who joined this class today. The committee already put the attendance link in the message box. Make sure
Okay.
you fill it up to get your certificate for the participants today.
Okay.
And also, we appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you again for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Thank
wabarakatuh.
you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Thank
students. Thank you,
you.
Aisha.
Thank you.